Hello everybody, this is YSGuru, and I want to welcome you to this final episode of Battle Angel Gully. In the last episode we fought off Zuo, and then we fought off the Queen Brain, and we found Dr. Helnbein as a brain. Apparently he was a prisoner too. And here Gully is just mentioning what happened. The ladder meeting happened, about the terraforming wars, and, disaster was avoided. The Melchizedek computer system was fixed up, and then the Doctor and Nova collaborated together to, do some work to fix things up. The initiation thing was canceled from Zalem, and of course the citizens of Zalem that didn't have it happen yet, it was explained to them, the whole system. Now Melchizedek here is saying thanks to Gully for all the work she did and helping out to fix the current crisis. And remember, Melchizedek is a straight up sentient, AI computer system, usually showing this old woman as its, kind of avatar, maybe to look sort of, non-threatening. But yeah, after beating Zuo and the Brain, we're going to go into the end story of this. And basically there's going to be an event on Leviathan 1, kind of a celebration party with all the ladder members there, and of course a bunch of people that Gully know, and they're going to send off Leviathan 1 as a celebratory thing. But yeah, Gully here is, she believed in Garodi, remember the big marshmallow guy, as her friend, in stopping the war, and she also believes in the, possibility of humanity and humanity's future. Somebody maybe will have to tell me in the comments about the significance of Leviathan 1. I know in this game, Leviathan 1 is very different in its usage than it was in the manga and the original story, and especially with the thing about the kidnapped children from Zuo being kept on Leviathan 1. But in this particular story, the significance of Leviathan 1 is different. But we're mentioning here that this is 5 years later, so we've had another jump in time, and Melchizedek agreed to do this Leviathan 1 send-off sort of event that Gully has proposed. And once again, I'm not sure what the significance is of Leviathan 1 and its mission. I think it was designed originally for space exploration, and it was, here in the works for a long time, but it was used for something else with Zuo and the kidnapped children possibly, but that wasn't really mentioned in this game. But on this particular day, on Leviathan 1, we're having a party and a send-off celebration. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this series. And this episode, I won't show all the dialogues, but I just wanted to show what happens here at the end game. So Gully here is going to have to, or she's saying she's going to let everybody know that the party's about to start for the send-off. So we're just going to go let everybody know. So there's Rue and Chaos. you remember, characters from long ago. Gali-san, long time no see! And Gully is just announcing it's about time for Leviathan 1's, launch time, so you're all expected in the front. But, yeah, you can talk to all these characters again, and it's kind of neat that they have this part of the game at the very ending where you can, talk to all the main characters that you've seen and kind of get a little idea about what they've been up to. And, how they're faring here at the end of the game, kind of to give you a little bit of closure on the story, which is pretty cool. I mean, Rue here is just talking about what she's been doing with, after the central dogma fight and, the help that she's been doing on Zalem. Surprisingly, knowing she has no brain and the MIB chip hasn't seemed to faze her as much as other people. But yeah, basically, if you remember, we were already here in Leviathan 1 a few episodes ago, but it was empty, and there was mostly enemies here. But now it's just a bunch of the classic characters from the game. And I just want to make sure I show them all off here real quick in each of the rooms. But I will make some cuts just to make this a little bit shorter, because mostly it's just a bunch of dialogue with the characters and what they're doing. But yeah, pretty neat to see Chaos again and many of the other characters, and just to kind of hear, what they're doing in the aftermath. So on the right side of the ship, if you go over here, Gully keeps announcing, it's time for the Leviathan 1 send-off, blah blah blah. You actually have all the delegates. If you remember from Ladder before, and I'm not going to talk to all of them, but those are just the delegates, the representatives of each of the major planets from the Terraforming War. So they're all here, and on the left side, all the left side rooms have friends that Gully has met along the way during this game. It's Koyomi, and she just took our photograph. And once again, Gully's announcing it's time for the party to start. Yeah, I see Fogia over in the corner there. But let's say hi to Koyomi-chan here. Gully says, "You've been working hard as a cameraman, huh?" And remember, she was a member of Barjack, that sort of terrorist, anti-Zalem organization that Den was the leader of. Not necessarily evil, but they were opposed to what was going on in Zalem. And yeah, we get a ton of choices here. I'm not going to go through them all, but all the stuff that Koyomi-chan's been up to, and the second option there was about the dog. If you remember, Fury was kind of sad, but apparently the dog finally stopped functioning as he was a robot. Talking to Fogia here is pretty funny. All he mentions is he couldn't wait for the food to be served. In the next room, our good friend Ido-sensei. And the sort of nurse boy Kana as well. So I just had to show Ido-sensei here one last time. I'm not sure I still trust this Kana person, since they straight up fought me at Farm 21. I don't appreciate when you try to beat me up, But apparently that's water under the bridge, and we're all okay now. Everything's good. apparently Kane is still working, helping Ido Sensei out at the repair shop, and they're still at Farm 21. Konnichiwa, Ido Sensei. It's kind of too bad Gully can't really be herself around Ido. Sadly, in this game, he has not got his memories back at this moment in time. He's still pretty kind and polite to Gully, but she says here, his memories haven't returned, but that's okay as long as I can see Ido smile and remember him. That's enough for me. I think somewhere in the manga, I can't remember exactly where I was reading, but Ido does decide to get his memories back eventually, about the MIB chip and everything, and then his memories of Gully would be restored, but it didn't happen here in this game. So in the next room we have Hopper. If you remember, he went with us to the moon place. I don't know what he's doing with his hands there. But you can talk to Hopper-san. Let's go to the next one. But yeah, mostly this is all it is. It's just a ton of rooms. Oh, hey, yeah, this one has the princess in it. And since this is the Mars delegate, I guess she's on this side. Rimera-chan. If you remember, probably my favorite character in this whole game. But now she's the leader of Mars. And she's actually a normal human leader with her brain intact. And she's still doing her cute little laughing. Gully there was telling her, you gotta be serious now and make sure you're the queen and not play this spy game like she was doing before. And she's like, of course I won't do anything like that. And then she laughs and chuckles like she's definitely up to something. So this made her quite a fun character in my opinion. Once again there she's laughing. Gully telling her shouldn't joke about that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm one of the assistants, but hey, hopefully she'll be a much better queen than that brain behind the scenes queen was. If you go back here in the back room and check out the this desk here in the corner, there's an awesome picture of Jashugan. Painting by Rimera. So Gully's asking, Rimera, did you paint this? It's like, so desu wa? Yes, I did. It's like, why do you know Jashugan's face so perfectly? 5 years ago, Gully, when you came to my room and you told me about everything, about the world below, you talked about him, in quite length. And so I just used that information and drew the painting. And Gully is super surprised how accurate it is and how skilled Rimera is as a painter and an artist. She can do some impressive artwork just by hearing the description. Here is the Dr. Helnbein, who is working with Nova to fix some stuff up. He's still a brain, and that's all that's left of him, but he's sort of in this mech suit so that he can actually move around. But apparently he's a much better doctor than Nova. A little on the eccentric side, but maybe that's because he's 200 years old. But sadly, the nanotech that he was working on didn't get introduced in time to save Gully's sisters, the other brains. And only Gully was the one that got a cyborg body and was able to live an actual semi-normal life. And he is upset here that I'm comparing him to Nova as a scientist, and saying I'm not crazy and weird like Nova. He does much more important work then Nova. But yeah, kind of interesting to see him, even though he wasn't too much in the game. And in the next room, we have a ton of the Dekiman, which I thought was pretty amusing. Get to see some of the key Dekiman, like the one that originally knew Yoko from her childhood, and several of the other ones that helped you along the way through the game. But yeah, kind of funny that there's an entire room full of these guys. And you can talk to them individually and they have stuff to say. But I'm going to skip most of that stuff since it was just, things you probably already heard if you've been watching the series. Reiterating things. Now we're going to go and go to the party here, talk to Melchizedek. Uh-oh. What the? Okay, I was not expecting Zuo to break through this wall here. It's been 5 years, hasn't it? Golly. Zuo! Come for me again, huh? So he was impressed with that special move that we used last time, but now, this time we won't be so lucky. What the heck is with this guy? He's like, must fight, must fight. That's all he cares about. So he's been preparing these 5 years. Remember, we had another 5-year gap between the previous episode and this one. Solenoid, quench, gun, attack, whatever the name of that crazy new attack is that Gully has. Saying, this time, it won't be useful to you. Are you kidding me? I have to fight this guy again? I thought I was at the end of the game. Come on, Melchizedek, help me out. Oh, I forgot, you're just this illusion of an old woman. Get down here where I can move around. Oh wow, my gun actually works. Okay, this Zuo is much weaker than the original. Even though it's been 5 years, he's been beat up quite a bit. Yeah, this is kind of a surprise. We have this sudden Sephiroth style fight again. Ouch. Okay, this plasma attack works great. Just constantly use the normal plasma attack and it just stuns him. Yeah, how do you like it now, Zuo? You to break in here and mess up my end game sequence. Honestly, I was not expecting that. But that fight was definitely easier than the previous version. Come on, Zuo, give it up. I am the strongest battle maiden in the universe. There is no opponent stronger than I. At least that's what I would say if I was Gully. The princess was kind enough to give him a chance. Much to Gully's surprise. Alright, everybody. That's officially the end of the game, and now I'm not in control anymore. And we are going to do the official launching of Leviathan 1. I don't know if that's to explore strange new worlds on its 5-year mission. I'm not sure, but definitely Leviathan 1 had some different connotations and purpose in the original manga. And And I think it was expanded upon from this game, because this game came before the final manga book. And there it went. It's pretty cool seeing everybody standing around as a group. Oh, what the heck. So Nova is up to no good there at Jeru, apparently. So all of Jeru belongs to me. He's going to turn it, he's going to use Melchizedek and turn it into his own personal wonderland so he can research the karma thing again. Nova no Yatsu. Gully's saying Nova up to his no good stuff again. Chaos says, this looks like it could be dangerous, Gully. Looks like you're the one for the job. Only you can handle this. Leave it to me! And there goes Gully into her new adventure to take on Nova once again. I knew we should have taken that guy out long ago. Alright everybody, that is the end of Gunnm, Kasei no Kiyoku. Memories of Mars, Battle Angel Alita, Battle Angel Gully. What did you think? Hope y'all enjoyed it. My thoughts... I mean, I really liked this game. The combat was really good, and it was very interesting and unique. The only major thing that was kind of a problem, in my opinion, was I think the story was a little wore out its welcome, I guess is the best way I could say it. You know, it was really long. The game felt dragged out. It felt like the game was way longer than it needed to be. And many of the dialogue scenes were just, you know, going on and on and on, and just incredibly long. And so, yeah, I think if they would have, you know, summarized it a bit better and maybe made the game a bit shorter, it felt really long. And, I mean, I'm not complaining too much since it's nice to have a long game rather than a short game. But it did feel like it, you know, wore out its welcome a little bit. The characters were really interesting, and the battles, like I said, it was really unique. I never quite played a game with a battle system like this. It was like sort of action / turn-based, and I feel like they could have had maybe a bit more platforming. Like, there were actually a couple seconds where I was jumping, but for most of the game I didn't even jump. But the characters were interesting, and this game was a really unique way for Kishiro-san to, you know, tell his Gunnm story, tell the story of Gully. You know, since he really didn't get a chance to fully tell the story as he wanted in the original manga, using this game to add some details to it was, you know, kind of a chance for him to tell the story. And so that's why it was heavily story-based. So I would almost categorize this game as an action digital comic, almost. Well, yeah, it was interesting. It was really good, and I had a lot of fun with it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this playthrough and all the episodes. I know I didn't, translate everything. I just mostly like to summarize, and when I read some dialogue, I'm usually not quite fast enough to do the whole thing word for word, and so I just end up summarizing a lot of things. But I feel like that's a little better than actually reading every single sentence word for word. And I may have gotten some things wrong. A lot of the information in this story, I don't know. It's incredibly complicated. The manga's got a lot of detail, a lot of characters, a lot of weird stuff going on. And so I'm not an expert on it. Some of you might be an expert on the Battle Angel world. But overall, good game. Really enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed watching it. If you like this, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and maybe support me so I can do some more like this in the future. One thing here at the end that I wanted to show just for fun and for completeness sake, after you clear the game and you go to the load screen, and instead of loading anything, just go back, there's an extra option here on the menu called omake, which is kind of Japanese for bonus content. And so there's this little omake menu that I wanted to show off just for fun. This only appears when you beat the game. And if you saw there, you could see my final save data time was about 30 hours. So it took me about 30 hours to complete this. I know that it could probably be done quicker, but that was my basic playthrough. But basically here at this omake mode, you can do like the motorball racing for fun, like kind of like a free mode. You can choose what stage you want. You can choose Gully's level, like what kind of level her body strength is at and what kind of level her attack is at. You can fight the Berserker Zapan again. So let me show these off real quick. Just for completeness sake. I'll probably lose. But if you remember from the previous, maybe 10, 15 episodes ago, we had this fight with this giant Berserker version of Zapan. So just for fun, the special boss fights are here in the omake mode, and you can just challenge yourself and try to beat them. Actually did pretty good for not having done that fight for a long time. And then you've got the fight versus Den, who was the giant centaur looking mech, if you remember. You have the fight with him on this little one-wheeled cart thing, which is pretty cool. This is probably one of my favorite fights in the game. Honestly, I wish they had a mini game where you could just ride around on this little cart thing, like a racetrack or something with obstacles, or Gully could ride around and dodge stuff or do jumps on this little one-wheeled motor device, which I remember was actually in the movie. Gully wasn't riding it, but there's a scene with Yugo and riding with Gully, and actually ride this one-wheeled bike thing in the movie, in the Alita Battle Angel movie by James Cameron. I thought that was really cool. A nice touch that they put this vehicle in there. Yeah, if you ever wanted to redo that fight, you can. And win, of course, which I did not do. And then the final option here is the Super Dogma fight. basically where you fight the major computer system with its defense or whatever. And once again, I found this fight probably to be the easiest of these sort of 3D boss fights. But yeah, it's kind of neat that they added this as a special bonus mode where you can fight the actual special 3D fights rather than like keeping save files in your game at these parts in the story, so that you could, show these cool boss fights to your friends, sort of thing. Yeah, actually, when you get used to it, this fight was pretty easy. Just had to dodge and then wait to charge up Gully's special ultimate here. Well, I lost, but I didn't actually do too bad. I almost won there. And that was without any practice. But yeah, that's the special Omake mode. And just for fun here, let's go ahead and finish off the video with a motorball race. Because that was one of the highlights of the game for me. So let's do one last round of motorball. Alright guys, thanks for watching this Japan gameplay video. Thanks for all your likes and comments and support on this series. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a chance to check it out someday. And if not, maybe check out the Battle Angel manga. But definitely watch the movie and the anime. They're both amazing. And we'll see you in the next video. Ja minasan, mata ne.